Gold FM is #1 here in Sigatoka.
Gold FM is our favorite radio station here in Waltoka.
Gold FM is #1 in Nel.
I love listening to Gold FM in Ba.
We love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits here in Suva.
Hear about Coca-Cola, you immediately think of gold. I'm Josephine Sabi and I love hearing Gold FM.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
In this bulletin, one dead after horrific road accident. Over 1,000 proposed polling venues. And LTA impounds second-hand cars. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and this is FBC News. The Fijian Elections Office has released a provisional list of proposed polling venues for the September elections. The list will be available for inspection by members of the public, political parties and anyone else who is interested. Eleanor Tarangaivu reports.
1,338 proposed polling venues have been identified by the Elections Office. 365 in the Central Division, 478 in the West, 321 in the North and 174 in the East.
You will note that there are less number of polling venues in the Central Division compared to the Western Division, and this is because we will be able to factor in more polling stations inside individual venues in the Central Division compared to the Western Division.
There will be 1,804 polling stations within these polling venues, and the number is likely to increase.
These proposed polling venues will have as many polling stations as may be required to distribute voters and to maintain a maximum of 500 voters per polling station.
The provisional list of polling venues is the first step for the voter to find the venue where he or she will vote.
The Fijian Elections Office will now commence to start moving voters who live near these polling venues into the voter lists for these venues. And where the venue has more than one polling station, into that voter list for that particular polling station. We expect to have a provisional voter list ready by the middle of May.
Meanwhile, Deputy Supervisor of Elections Michael Clancy says Fiji is on track to hold the elections on time.
As I've only been here a couple of days, I'm just getting my head around that, but what I've seen, the planning is on track, and at this stage I don't see any reason why we wouldn't have the election on the advertised date.
The public is urged to inspect the list and to inform the Elections Office if they believe a polling venue needs to be created for a settlement or community. Most of the venues already identified are community halls and schools, the same one used in the 2006 elections. The list of the proposed venues will be published in the two local dailies, the Fiji Sun and the Fiji Times, tomorrow. Eleanor Tarangaivu, FBC News.
A 44-year-old minibus driver is under police guard at the Sigatoka Hospital after the vehicle he was driving was involved in an accident that claimed the life of a school teacher. The minibus was heading towards Nandi with 6 passengers when the driver allegedly tried to overtake on a slope near the Lomawai junction and collided with the oncoming four-wheel drive. The minibus went off the road and fell down a slope. The 27-year-old teacher died while being taken to the Sigatoka Hospital. 4 other passengers of the minibus sustained minor injuries, while an 18-year-old has been transferred to CWM Hospital for a dislocated left knee. Positive remarks and feedback from Canberra and Wellington about Fiji's upcoming election isn't being matched by some local politicians. Akosita Tale reports.
With only 139 days remaining before elections, the Fijian government says it's encouraging to note a response from the 2 neighboring countries in the Pacific.
They've been helping us now for a number of months, and like I said, we expressed our appreciation for the number of personnel that they've contributed to the Elections Office. There have been some very, very good technical people. We appreciate the assistance. The idea is that we work with them, learn with them.
Syed Qayyum says they've received support from the electoral commissioners that Fiji is ready for the one-day poll. However, this isn't supported by the political parties.
At the moment, unfortunately, they're all trying to score political points. They're not doing themselves any favors. They're not doing, more importantly, our country any favors. And it is quite encouraging to note the response from the Australians and indeed the Kiwis too, who obviously have a much better vision than these political parties who are making these comments, and we're working together with them.
Fijians hired through the elections office are expected to learn from their Australian and Kiwi counterparts, as this will save Fiji from having to look for foreigners every time there is an election. The government says that everyone, including the political parties, should support this.
They seem to be in the minority. They should be rather focusing on, encouraging the elections office and working together with the elections office, as opposed to finding every single opportunity to cut down the experts we got from Australia and New Zealand, the good Fijian staff that has been selected to work together with them.
Syed Qayyum adds they will work together with the two governments as they have a better vision than the political parties who are making comments about the Fijian government decisions. Akosita Talei, FBC News.
Suva High Court Judge Justice Paul Madigan today refused an arrest of judgment application filed by Fiji Labour Party leader Mahendra Chaudhry. Chaudhry's counsel Anand Singh argued the charges against his client are wrong and defective. Chaudhry has been convicted for not getting the approval of the governor of the Reserve Bank to keep money overseas. Singh argued the Minister for Finance and the RBF have the powers to give approval and not the governor. Justice Madigan referred to an earlier case, Ready Enterprise against the RBF, where it was ruled that the governor represents the Reserve Bank of Fiji. Judge Madigan says he therefore finds no merit in Chaudhry's application and sentencing will go ahead tomorrow morning. The Land Transport Authority has impounded 6 second-hand vehicles this morning after discovering they were taken from the wharf without proper trade plates. Apisalome Doka was with the LTA this morning and files this report.
Officers left for Auto World Trading Limited in Viria Road, Watuanga this morning, seizing vehicles. These were taken out of the wharf last night and driven to the customs bond without trade plates.
The processes and the system is very simple. No vehicle must be running on the road without a proper affix, without the proper use of trade plate. I believe this was the issue, the case with the vehicle that was seized today.
6 cars were spotted weaving in and out of traffic last night, 2 heading for Watuanga and the rest Vicinda in Kinoya.
The LTA says they cannot confirm if this has been happening for some time now. But what has transpired has indicated that some car dealers are trying to beat the system, maybe trying to avoid fees that are to be paid.
This must be a warning to all authorized motor vehicle dealers, to those authorized motor vehicle dealers that we have given you a permit to operate as an authorized motor vehicle dealer. You must ensure that you follow these procedures and process all the time.
The LTA is still considering penalties against Auto World Trading.
Well, we will further our investigation into this. Probably we will seek other, this is like a stepping stone for us to actually explore maybe other illegal procedures that have been breached. We are aware of some that are actually not following proper and right procedures in terms of getting their vehicle, to the yard.
Auto World Trading Limited Director Kunan Lal says their trade plates were not displayed but were kept inside the vehicles while on the road. Apisalome Doka, FBC News.
New shelter for supermarket vendors, that's after the break.
Golnga elambasa Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Ando talita kana borong ng Mbula FM number 2 na sere su.
Kau buat itu gara-garaki au rewat juga ni stima au ando talita kana borong ng Mbula.
Bola bina Fiji Mbula FM number 2 esinga toka.
Bola bina era roga Mbula FM number 2 di konga.
Mbula FM number 2 na sere.
Welcome back. This is FBC News. Prime Minister Vorenghe Bainimarama today opened the new supermarket vendor shelter. The shelter is rainproof and vendors won't have to suffer in wet or stormy conditions. Bainimarama told the crowd who turned up for the opening today that his government has always enabled ordinary Fijians to achieve the best in life.
Without the proper facilities, a market cannot grow to achieve its highest level of operation. That is why my government has made a significant commitment in this year's budget towards the development of local markets around the country, including those in Nandi, Singatoka, Sabu-Sabu, Labasa and Nosori.
In the 2014 budget, the government allocated $500,000 for the new shelter. Immunization coverage in Fiji has risen from 79% in 2006 to 95% in 2012. These are the vaccines to protect children from whooping cough, polio, tetanus, measles, rubella and other diseases caused by rotaviruses, which cause inflammation of the stomach and intestines. The Health Ministry has recently announced that it now aims to reach 100% coverage. Akusita Tale reports the Australian government is happy with these achievements.
Fiji is doing extremely well in terms of immunization, reaching 95%. This was applauded by the Australian Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Senator Brett Mason, in Singatoka yesterday.
That's a very good record. I think it's probably better than Australia these days. Australia's was good, then it fell. It started to fall. I think people became complacent.
Health Minister Dr. Neil Sharma says this is the result of the number of medications combined to treat diseases against children.
The number of diseases we protect kids against, so you ended up with about 13, 14 injections. But now they've come up with various combinations. So it cuts down. One injection gives you protection for 3 diseases.
Senator Mason has also applauded the initiatives by the Health and Education Ministry on promoting healthy living in schools. Akusita Tale, FBC News.
10 girls have been selected to vie for the Miss World Fiji title. They made their first appearance at Tapu City today. Vosita Kotewasawasa reports.
These are the top 10 girls who have been selected and will be groomed to compete for Miss World Fiji.
I believe I have a strong personality that stands out from the rest. I have the right amount of confidence. There's a thin line between being overconfident and being underconfident. I believe I managed that out pretty well. Thank you. And I have a compassionate heart, and I'm a hardworking person.
I think the personality that I have would be enough to win the crown. And also I would like to think that I'm confident. And I'm very passionate about animals and plants and the environment.
For the organizers of the event, the girls will go through a different phase of preparation this year.
Firstly, we take our contestants that you've seen today, the top 10, into a boot camp. We train the contestants, we prepare them for not the Miss Fiji contest, we prepare them for the Miss World Finals. So that the winner that comes out of this is already prepared when she goes to London. So it's a very exciting opportunity for all 10 girls because it's a great experience.
The Miss World Fiji final will be held at the Pearl Resort on July 26th. Vasita Kotewasawasa, FBC News.
2 renowned American artists are in the country to conduct courses to show local artists how to use their skills to become entrepreneurs. Jesse Roberts and Mosley Waters say they have found their visit to Fiji an inspiration. Josephine Navula spoke with them today.
Art of Jesse Roberts has been displayed around the world, including the Middle East, Central America, India, Spain and the US. He has 20 years of experience in international and local youth empowerment education, community development and arts-related projects. The passionate artist is here to encourage Fijians to make a living out of art.
It's really important as an artist to realize that you can make a living doing business. Some of our first workshops we started with some students in Tunisia, and they've gone on to start their own clothing business.
Meanwhile, State of Oregon former slam poetry champion Mosley Waters says there are more ways to express art.
In terms of poetry, in terms of spoken word poetry, as I use my hands, it's a very expressive form of poetry. It's one that is pedestrian in the sense that all you need is your own experience. So this is the same thing that I like about any art form. A lot of things in the world and culture of hip-hop fall into this category because your body becomes an instrument and your experience becomes the lyrics, and really putting yourself into it, your own individual voice becomes your window to the world.
Participant says it has been a wonderful experience.
Well, it's been a great experience, like learning how to screen print, also to spray paint, and I think it's a good experience, yeah.
I would like to encourage all who have the talent and passion for it to come and join us in learning more.
Turning art into a business is something that everyone here has learned. As you can see, children of all age groups are eager to learn art from the two renowned artists from the US, just FBC News.
Sports now, and here's Jamie with the latest.
Thanks, Jackie. Coming up in sports, an update from the Fiji Mbati camp, and Australian Masters outclassed Fiji Hockey's HPU team again, but are pleased with the improvement by the young side. Details after the break.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Singapore.
और किसके सुनिए यार, हमारा एक सच्चा साथी है मिर्ची एफएम लंबा साथी.
I love Mirchi FM. It's so hot. देखे में लाल लाल, खाए में हाय हाय. Tangi tangi taupo में Mirchi FM is hot.
Here at Rugby Town, Singapore, love listening to Mirchi FM. Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Mirchi FM is #1 in Suva. It's hot.
हम वहीं लंबा समय रहता है. तो क्या बताएं हम मिर्ची एफएम सुनता है.
Mirchi FM, बहुत जुलूम जुलूम.
Mirchi FM, it's hot.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. The Vodafone Fiji Mbati side is in good spirits ahead of the Pacific Test against Samoa this weekend. Coach Rick Stone says it has been similar to a homecoming for the players involved in last year's World Cup, but that will not take anything away from the magnitude of the task at hand. Talenda Dakadaka reports.
Hold them out. They go right to groom.
The Vodafone Fiji Mbati side will be looking to maintain their winning ways against a tough toss Samoa outfit. After assembling on Monday, team spirits are at an all-time high for what is expected to be a fiery encounter.
It's been exciting to be back with a group that, we had so much togetherness and a bit of success at the World Cup. Majority of the group's still there, so yeah, we're enjoying each other's company and the training. We've slipped back into a good groove. We had 8 to 9 weeks of good solid training. We put that in the bank over the World Cup period, and definitely we can bank on that and bring that out a little bit on Sunday, I hope.
NRL top try scorer Semi Randrandra has had a stellar season so far and will partner veteran Lote Tungiri in the centres.
They're both sort of really talented ball carriers, and obviously we had a lot of wingers to pick from, but Semi's got some really good skills and Lottie's got some experience and some skills, so I think it's going to balance our side up pretty well.
Stone is adamant that the short preparation time should not be a major obstacle in their bid to qualify for the Four Nations. Chalendo the Kavak, FBC Sports.
The FRU's development team held a grassroots clinic today at the Vodafone Arena to teach future stars the basics of the game. Pravin Narayan has more.
Get Into Rugby is a plan put in place by the Rugby House to heighten the skills of beginners who want to learn the fine points of the game. They have been assisted by the IRB, which has sent a number of rugby kits to be used by the participants. Today's clinic was just the start, but to move ahead, the FRU needs more money.
Programs are there, we just need some financial backing to get these programs off the road. So this is also an introduction to potential sponsors out there who would like to get behind this program and focus on grassroots and development of kids.
So at the moment the main constraint is financially wise, or?
Well, to an extent it is, but as I've mentioned, we won't let it stop us from our programs.
Despite the financial challenges, the FRU development team believes the show must go on.
It's for us introducing this game to this age, gives the 7th team and the 15th team a lot more talent to choose from, and introducing them at this early age. The outcome goal is to try and get as many kids into that 7th or the 15th team or overseas contracts. So these kind of programs help our national team choose from a wider area of pool of talent.
They say rugby is the heartbeat of the nation, and the FRU through its development efforts is keeping it pumping. Pravin Narayan, FBC Sports.
The Australian Women's Hockey Masters over 45s continue their unbeaten run in Fiji. Last night they handed the Fiji High Performance Unit squad another 3-0 loss in Suva. Elaine McDonald reports while winning is a plus for the visitors, their true purpose is to keep the sport they love alive by doing all they can to promote and develop hockey.
It may be 2 straight wins, but the Aussies are bracing themselves for tougher encounters this week.
We knew they were going to be fast. We thought that that's what's going to get us, if anything, is the speed. But full credit to the Fijian girls. Last night was a totally different game to the first game because they went away from that game and they learned, and they came last night and they showed us what they learned, and they had us on our toes, and it was much tougher.
You can see that they're going to be very competitive in the future and just need to keep on that development. We sometimes hope that our older heads can outsmart the younger legs, so whilst it was 3-0, I don't think that was indicative of the game. I thought it was very even on both sides.
Outside game time, they're also here to assist the Fiji under-18s preparing for the Youth Olympic Games in China in August.
I think as a more mature age sort of person, it's really important to keep moving and keep involved in your sport. So it's not only about playing yourself, but making sure you contribute and give back for the younger generation and our kids to come through and to have the benefit of what we did from our sport.
A little help with equipment was also a boost for Fiji hockey.
As Meg said, we work hard at home before we come away. We don't take it lightly, we take it very seriously. And to come and be a part of your development, it is an honour.
These ladies are a prime example of passion for sport with no limits. 2 more games remain against the Fiji HPU, and no matter what the locals dish out, this Masters team's already made an impact. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
Pacific Sprint King Banuve Tambakaudoro received a major boost towards his goal of qualifying for the 2016 Rio Olympics. The sprinter penned a new 3-year contract with Digicel that is worth over $50,000. There's a bonus element in the contract with an increase in funds should Tambakaudoro qualify for the Rio Olympics.
I'd just like to thank Digicel and the rest of the staff for the new contract signing that I've done today, and I'm pretty sure with everything that's been included in the contract will help me, bring down those times that I've been wanting to bring down for so many years. The dream of going to the Olympics will be achieved.
That is your sports for tonight. Good evening.
Investment activity is expected to be positive according to the Reserve Bank of Fiji's April Economic Review. This is based on strong sentiments expressed for investment in plant and machinery and buildings, coupled with increased government capital expenditure, about 40% planned for this year. The RBF review states monetary conditions remain accommodative to economic growth. Liquidity in the banking sector rose by 3% to $593 million over the month of March, underpinned by a $23 million increase in foreign reserves. Foreign reserves are at around $1.6 billion, enough to cover 4.5 months of imports. We join Trish now. How's the weather like today? Hopefully we'll get clear skies soon.
We may be in luck, Jackie, because it looks like it will be clearing soon. It just might. That trough of low pressure that has been causing rainy and cloudy conditions for us is still moving over Fiji. It's grouped till late Thursday. In today's conditions, the capital Suva, Nadi, Lautoka and Ba had rain the whole day, as Savu and Lambasa had cloud and rain all throughout as well. Today's temperatures mostly all on the cool side. Suva was on 26, Nandi on 24, Lautoka 27, Ba with 25. It was warm in the north, where Savu was on 30, whereas Lambasa hit 31. Tomorrow's forecast looks like there's a bit of a good news. There will be rain and a chance of thunderstorms in the morning, but we could see the rain ease later in the afternoon, giving away clear skies. This is our image of the day, the burning skies of Nasarawanga in Bua.
Thanks so much for that, Trish. The main points again: 1 dead after horrific road accident, over 1,000 proposed polling venues, and LTA impounds second-hand cars. Our poll question this week, we're asking: are you satisfied with the services provided by municipal councils? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or simply hashtag FBC News. That's all from us tonight. Till tomorrow at the same time. Good evening.
Ito singa to kuno talita na barong na radio Fijuan na station yal mutua.
Ako na koro ko na talita. Mandaw talita kini na barong radio Fijuan.
Kitongo isu untuk talita na barong na radio Fijuan station yal mutua.
Kito talita na radio Fijuan. Na radio Fijuan endo talita kita nga Singatoka.
Station di Matino Pinatia na radio Fijuan. Pokoknya kayak
na Radio Fijuan nandu mai biti na bonga ni bienang.